Boker Tov, good morning. Today is October 16th, Erev Shabbat Bereshit. We begin the Torah once more this Shabbos with the story of creation. And I wanted to reflect on one verse with you, actually two verses that appear in the story of the, the naming of all the animals and Adam's sense of himself. It says the pasuk, "Vayitzer Adonai Elohim min hadama kol chayat hasadeh kol of hashemayim." God created all the animals. Vayaveh el ha'adam lirot ma yikra lo. He brought them all to Adam to see what he would call them. V'chol asher yikra lo ha'adam nefesh chaya hu shemo. Whatever animal called each of these animals, that would be its name. Vayikra ha'adam shemel l'chol ha'imel bo shemayim l'chol chayat hasadeh. He gave names, the Torah says, Ula Adam lo matzah ezer kenegdo. But he did not have success. He did not find a helpmate that would be parallel to him. And that's then when God goes on to create Chava from his tzelah, from his rib. Here the Ramban has a lengthy discussion about the giving of names. And I just want to hone in on one phrase, one section of this Ramban commentary. Because God brought all the animals before him. It was his chance to understand them, to even imagine whether or not he could find companionship, and he could not do so. And he says the following: when Adam saw each of the animals that came as pairs before him, mezuvagim, paired up as they were with one another, nitaveh he was desirous of them. Desirous of them in the sense of yearning for something that they had that he did not have. When he realized that he was not going to find any being amongst them that would be his helpmate, ne'etzav, he grew quite sad. And that's when God put him under a deep sleep and formed Chava. So there's a real interesting reflection as we read this text to try to understand something about the nature of loneliness. And there's an element of loneliness which just comes naturally when one is alone and doesn't have another to share life with. And there's a piece of it that is intensified, at least, when someone sees others making their lives. And when you recognize in them that they have, well, look at their partnering and look at their togetherness, and that turns something on inside of you. You might not have had a yearning to be with anyone else until then, and you kind of say, wow, now I want that. I want companionship, which I didn't know I wanted beforehand. I was thinking about this this week in two lights. One, in the context of perhaps you've heard that Rabbi Benny Lau, who was our guest here a few years ago and a very prominent rabbi in Israel, he came out with a document just after Simchat Torah about affirming the lives of LGBT couples and appreciating what it means for them, for an individual to desperately desire to have a partner in life and to build a life together. And it's a very important statement that he made. There are those who have been harsh on him, and there are those who thankfully have also been supportive. And I think about that a lot for lots of reasons, as you might obviously understand and value. And I was thinking about it in a different light as well. Over these past many months, when people are in their homes, again, we've, thank God, been able to come out, and that be a bracha that we still be able to benefit from. But some folks are in their homes and they're really on their own, and some are in their homes that are full and rich and overflowing with noise and hassles, but also the beauty of the energy of a space that's filled with lots of other people. And I'll tell you that I've always tried to tread carefully over these past few months, as I've thought at different points to talk about my own home, which is Kenai Har, Baruch Hashem. I have all my children presently living with us, including Shira and her husband, and Jason, and two grandchildren. So a very full house, and it really is a blessing for us. And at the same time, I'm cautious not to share too much of that. Certainly not in some of these public settings, because I'm mindful of the fact that there are other people who don't have that blessing, whose homes are quieter, or where you might even be on your own, and hopefully connecting in the ways that we can connect outside, in the different settings that we have, or on Zoom and other ways. But knowing the disparity is something that I'm sensitive to. And that's something that really emerges from this reading of Ramban. And we all have to be mindful of it. Learn how to share our blessings with everyone, and understand that for those who might be on your own and wish that you were not. And I'm not giving you that wish, but knowing that's the case, for us to all be very extra sensitive to you, and to make sure that we're including you in all the joys of life that we can, whether in person or in other ways. That's the job of a kehillah, to be mindful and aware of that, to make sure that people should never feel the loneliness that the Torah describes about Adam, and that you should be able to feel the companionship, whether it's of someone in your home, or the people that reach out with care and love to you, because you matter and you're not alone at all. Let's all make sure that we're extra mindful, and ensure that the blessings that God sought to bestow on the very first human being are the ones that we all can still benefit from and experience to this very day. Have a Shabbat Shalom.